Ignoring climate change is deadly and dangerous and irresponsible. These climate-fueled extreme weather events don't just affect people's lives, they also cost money, they hurt the economy, and they have a significant negative psychological effect on people. And the impacts we're seeing are only going to get worse, get more frequent, more ferocious, hitting our most vulnerable people in the most hardest hit communities in the world. Look, we can change all that. It's within our power. That's why today I'm announcing 5 new actions my administration is taking to address extreme weather, including heat and other hazards. The first, the Department of Labor is proposing a new rule that, when finalized, will establish the nation's first ever federal safety standard for excessive heat in the workplace. This includes things like developing response plans to heat illness, training employees and supervisors, implementing rest breaks, access to shade and water. Across the country, workers suffer heat stroke or even die just doing their jobs. This new rule will substantially reduce heat injuries, illnesses, and deaths for over 36 million workers to whom it will apply. Second, in the coming days, my federal emergency management will also finalize a rule to improve our nation's resilience against flooding. Resilience. FEMA will now factor in the effects of future flooding for any federally funded construction project. FEMA is announcing nearly $1 billion in grants for over 650 projects across the country that help communities protect against natural disasters, including extreme heat, storms, and flooding. These grants will also help advance my Justice 40 initiative to deliver at least 40% of overall benefits of clean transit, clean energy, and climate investment to devastated communities, to the poor communities always left behind. Fourth, the Environmental Protection Agency is releasing a new report showing the continued impacts of climate change and the health of the American people and on our environment. This report will help us prepare better, respond faster, and save more lives. And fifth, later this summer, my administration will convene the first ever White House Summer on Extreme Heat, bringing together state, local, tribal, and territorial leaders and international partners who are protecting communities and workers from extreme weather every single solitary day. Today's announcements build on historic action my administration has already taken to address extreme heat events. We launched a new website, heat.gov. Let me say it again, heat.gov, that shares life-saving information and links a new heat risk tool to help communities forecast extreme heat. My Department of Labor also created the first ever national program to protect workers from heat stress. We've invested billions to enhance our power grid, expand energy shortages so that lights, air conditioning, refrigeration, internet stay on during heat waves, storms, and other climate changes. It's building back a different way. All told, we've invested a record more than $50 billion for climate resilience, including against extreme heat and wildfires. Through the bipartisan infrastructure law, we're delivering over $20 billion to lower your energy costs, upgrading the electric grid to withstand stronger heat waves and storms. And my Inflation Reduction Act, the most significant climate investment ever in the history of the world, anywhere in the world, has already created 300,000 new jobs, building clean energy we need to cut our emissions and to lead the world. Unfortunately, my predecessor and the MAGA Republicans in Congress are trying to undo all this progress. They still deny climate change even exists. They deny climate change even exists. They must be living in a hole somewhere at the expense of health and safety of their own constituents. They deny it exists. Every single congressional Republican voted against the investments which created these jobs and combat climate change. Many of them are trying to repeal those climate provisions and kill those jobs. I quite frankly think it's not only outrageous, it's really stupid. Everyone who willfully denies the impacts of climate change is condemning the American people to a dangerous future, and either is really, really dumb or has some other motive of that. How can you deny there's climate change, for God's sake? Let me close with this. When disaster strikes, there are no red states or blue states. I've demonstrated that. I said no matter whether you vote for him or not, everyone's going to get treated fairly. They're just communities, not red communities, blue communities, they're just communities. Families looking for help. And my administration is going to be there for you every step of the way. We just have to remember who we are, for God's sake. We're the United States of America. The United States of America, there's nothing beyond our capacity if we work together.